This is Dave McCain with the Right Tree Genealogy, doing another video on family tree DNA. And I'm just going to show you a quick one here related to what we see as group administrators when we log in. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. Now I'm logged into my group administrators web page, as I would define it here. And this basically is what we log into when we go to family tree DNA. Here's a note that they told us, and this is the update we are supposed to transfer to our members. They talk about enhancements and everything, but over here in this block is the key news that right now, if you're doing a big Y, it is, as of this week, 8 to 12 weeks from the time that you get the kit submitted in and it's been processed. So what that means is after you've mailed it in and they acknowledge that they have it and it's in process, it's going to be 8 to 12 weeks as of this week's new numbers. And then the same thing on regular Y-DNA, it's 8 to 10 weeks now. A SNP, if you're just doing a SNP packet or a SNP test, it's 1 to 4 weeks. One of the things I wanted to point out here is a note that's been put out on some of the other websites, but this is on May the 6th of this year. A quick note that the main phylogeneticist is back for Family Tree DNA, and that's Michael Sager. But it's not just that. Here's something that's important that I want to point out that isn't always pointed out to people. I see it a lot of times, hey, wait till the manual review's done, let's see what happens with manual review. There's not a guaranteed manual review on every kit. The fact of the matter is not every kit will have a manual review. That's not how it works. It's also not a first in, first out. When there is a so-called private SNP you have and another member has that same private SNP, or at least was private until now, then there's a number already assigned to it when it's generated in the system. ID or that name is going to be given to it as soon as two members match it. There's still the two matching rule that they have. They haven't changed that rule. Two people need to match it for it to appear on the phylogenetic tree. Just because you just completed a big Y and the results have come in does not mean you're going to automatically have a manual review of your kit. You may be the only person that has a private SNP at this point. That also applies to already named reoccurring SNPs that will show up in the named variants list. Those, if you are the only one in your group, it still won't be named on your tree until someone else matches you on that one. Another thing I want to point out here is this next paragraph here. Sager works on branching a tree at a branch at a time, and so he creates new branches as necessary, as we were discussing on those private SNPs that are no longer private when you have someone that matches with you. It does not mean, however, that it's not going to be a few weeks or even longer before he gets to your haplogroup where that change exists. I'm going to read this exactly as it says here. If a kit does not have variants that form a new branch, he won't look at it. He'll only look at those that do form new branches. So here's the second thing I want to point out here on this same thing. He's going to complete the one he's working on. And then if results that come in under a previous branch he was working on have to wait until he goes back to that branch. Mileage will vary is the phrase I'm going to use here. You may, if he's working on R or he's working on J, that's one of my other test kits, he happens to be working on J, a tester comes in and it's a new branching possibility, I may find out within that week. It's because he's in that haplo branch at this time, or that haplo group at the time. So that was the essence of it. We have a lot different login. We get notifications of activities that are going on, updates to the system that could be happening, and releases and bugs fixes that customers see out there. We also get notification of when there's going to be a sale. We're supposed to post it out to our members if we have members we need to update. So administrators have access to things but it doesn't mean we're going to get a kit done any faster just because you're part of a project. It just means that we're going to have insights in what's going on as the group administrator. My statement here is you should join a group project, surname project, or a SNP project that's out there. Those members that do that, those of us that have volunteered to do that work, we look at, are there other matches, is there other possibilities to help our members? So when you join a group, there's other benefits we can have and questions we may be able to answer. So join groups, find which one matches you. I suggest surnames if when you do your big Y testing, or if you do lower level testings, you see a surname, even if it's not yours, but you see that a lot more of them match it, look to join that project, and you might be able to gain some insights from those managers. This is Dave McCain with the Right Tree Genealogy. If you like this type of video, please subscribe right here, click the bell notification, give it a thumbs up, and let's continue learning together.